Hey.
All right. Yes, welcome to Fantasy Sports Addicts Anonymous. My name is Tom. I'm a fantasy sports addict. And joining me today, we have Cubby Nole. Hello, this is James. James, are you a fantasy sports addict?
Well, we're doing a draft in November, so I'd say yeah, baseball draft in November. So I'd say yeah.
Yes. All right. So this is, I believe, podcast 94-ish. We got a little off track. Who knows? Whatever. But we're doing this, Friends and Addicts, with some experts sprinkled in here.
FNA.
This mid off season slow draft, Dynasty draft on Fantrax, designed to be uploaded then later into Yahoo. And this is a Dynasty. We're just taking it slow, hoping to kill some time in the off season. We're probably about halfway through now, would you say?
Yeah, we're like 5 picks away from exactly halfway through. We're currently at pick 203, and this is day 13.
Day 13. Well, it didn't take exactly the entire off season.
No, we're looking at about another 10 days or so, I'd say.
Okay, so it'll probably slow down as we get into the later picks. But basically, okay, so let's talk about how this all got started. We were talking, right? You were ready to kind of move off of ESPN, right, Cubby?
Yeah, I had a home league on ESPN that I commissioned. That was my first league I ever commissioned, 2016. And I was like, you know what? I'd like to turn that into a dynasty and, ask a few of my friends in that league to maybe hook up with some of my friends from, FSAA.
Okay.
And just create a big dynasty and, put it on Yahoo because it's just the easiest to use and the app's pretty good and all that. So I started thinking about that around June, actually, or July, pretty early. I started reaching out to a few of my friends and then you guys as well from the Addicts. And then it all just kind of came together, and I wasn't sure. I initially thought maybe December, maybe started around the winter meetings or whatever,
Right.
And impatience got the best of me because I'm fucking degenerate when it comes to this, like all of us are.
Right, we're all.
Yeah. And so, I was talking to you, talking to others, I go, what do you think we just roll from the World Series right into this draft? To me that sounds good. So we started it the night after the World Series ended. And actually, it was supposed to start 2 nights after it ended. Everyone got even more anxious because it was a day away, and we had the group message there with all 16 league members in it, and people are like, "What do you think about starting?" And enough people said yes. I was like, "All right, we can do this." We got a 12-hour pick clock, and we started Thursday, November 2nd, and here we are, November 14th.
So let's roll now. Yeah. All right. So let's get into the specifics here. We have basically a situation where we talked. Okay, standard dynasty league would be maybe 12 teams. You're talking about kind of cozy and intimate. Half your league, half of
the Addicts.
Maybe, just whoever's there. But it sort of snowballed. It went from 12 teams or whatever, just 12, 14. And then next thing you know, we got 16. And we probably even had enough interest for 20,
we could have done 20.
Teams. Yeah, easily. And we decided, well, we still want to keep it kind of
not ridiculous.
Luxurious. Yeah, we still wanted the luxury of like having a little, bench and prospects to play with. So we kind of capped it at 16. And You altered the standard, it's not your standard 5 category scoring, 5x5 for a head-to-head league.
No, but it's still very simple, 6x6.
Right. And so basically explain that. We've combined holds and saves.
Yeah, which is, devalues closers a little bit, yeah, but on the plus side, it allows us to fill up on offense more,
Right.
Or fill up on starters, and it makes obviously the hold guys more valuable. And there's a lot of good relievers out there that don't close, And
it gives them a little love, yeah. And also quality starts as a
quality starts is becoming more and more the standard. It's nice to get rewarded when a guy pitches well but doesn't get the W.
Right. Now, we've also switched several of the offensive categories. Right, you got rid of batting average and replaced it with what?
With OBP. Yeah, again, This is, kind of what a lot of leagues are doing the last few years. And, I always just like to look at something as simple as, hey, did my guy get on base? Oh, sweet, I got credit for it,
Right, walks and all that, yeah.
Yeah, like sober metrics for, 20-plus years now. Can the guy get on? I don't care how. Same principle. Okay. And then the other one being slugging, which, all right, can a guy get on base? Oh, can a guy hit for power? All right, cool. So, and then the other 4 categories are standards, run, home run, stolen base, RBI.
Right. So it's, it's still about the same thing, simple yet luxurious.
Yeah.
It's the same as basically all of our other dynasty keeper setups where you keep 20.
Keep 21.
Okay, keep 21 rather. Okay, so it's slightly different in that regard. And then bench is about the same. You drop.
Yeah, bench is 5.
And you have more. You have slightly more like NA and DL spots, right?
Yeah. I think I settled on 4 NA, and I have to look at. I think I did 4 DL as well.
Yeah, we've had that conversation about because of the 10-day DL being used as like a taxi chauffeur service for stretching out your starting pitching.
Yeah, so it's pretty generous with 4 NA and 4 DLs.
Okay. Yeah, so that's pretty nice, and we've got just a wild mix of people. We've got how many would you say from your league? And
I'd say with you? From my league, got myself, Wood, David, Eric, Andy. So that's what, 5?
Okay.
And then the other 11 are comprised of Addicts and Jose's friend and Fantasy Keith.
Okay. Yeah, so that's right. Yeah, Jose's friend's co-managing.
Yeah, Colin. So yeah, I would say 9, I guess, if you want to label them as Addicts, 9 guys from FSAA, and then Fantasy Keith, and then Jose's buddy Colin. So it's a nice little mix, and it's a good age range too. We got some young ones like Nate and Andrew that are 22, 23, and then of course me, you, and a handful of other guys. I'd say about half the league. Yeah, half the league is probably in their 30s, and then a quarter's in their 20s, and you got a couple outliers like what's his name? Is Evan the old one? I can't remember.
Yeah, right.
I can't remember.
We got to keep track. I mean, I don't know.
It's a good little mix, 20, 30s, maybe 140. No, Jose, he's 40 or whatever he is. So it's a nice little mix of where people play fantasy baseball and their backgrounds and ages and all that.
Yeah, a lot of, people. We got some Canadians. We got some
West Coasters, Florida East people. Coasters.
Yeah, it's nice. It's a nice mix. And personality-wise, we've got a diverse group of people here, but I think
there's a group of assholes like us. There's other people that kind of stay off in the cut, but for the most part, in general, everyone's kind of having fun with the group chat, and we're just throwing out gifs, all day, every day.
But yeah, the Twitter thread's pretty fun. I like that. That's we have a lot of good conversation there, and then just making fun of everybody and making fun of each other. Let me just show, I guess, the league since we're talking about it here. Give me a second to switch over, and hopefully you can see this. And here we go. This should be it. You should be seeing the league page. Like we said, we are drafting on Fantrax initially. It will be shuffled too. Right, Yahoo skis. But so yeah, here's our league. Everybody's here. We got quite a mix. And of course, the league chaplain, Reverend Nate Dogg's here.
Yeah, co-commish as well, just like yourself and David.
Right. Now, like we said, we're halfway through the draft. Now, I hope this is showing the draft window. I'm going to get to that here next. Okay, so I have to stop sharing that and switch over for you. Give me a second. We're going to the draft window here. This will give you a look at... Now, if you've never used Fantrax, Fantrax's draft app is actually decent. It's got a lot of nice features. I mean, Fantrax itself is a little bit complicated and a little bit jumbled.
Wonky.
Yeah, but the draft, it's nothing sexy to look at.
No, but it's very functional with nice settings.
Exactly. I was going to say, in terms of functionality, you've got a lot of right? Your commissioner, you could pause the draft, suspend it. You know, we turn it off at night. We have a 12-hour break at night. You could go back and like, oh, shit, I didn't mean to draft. You know, commissioner can go back and
back. It's very easy to trade draft picks. Just a couple clicks of the button.
Yeah. So it's nice in that sense. Now the problem with it is if you notice the way these players are sort of ranked now.
Yeah.
Obviously, relief pitching given a priority just in terms of like points and scoring.
Yeah, that's why I was sure to give the league a heads up and let them know like Fantrax rankings are wonky. But again, another benefit of the long clock we have is you have sorting, all the time to research.
Yeah. You can look at other sites, you know, I mean, look at like, you know, MLB, Baseball America. If you're looking at prospects, you can look at, you know, other fantasy sites, you know, pre-ranking sites. I mean, I'm sure, you know, Nathan always likes to do his Dynasty rankings. I'm sure at some point we'll get some Dynasty one stop. We'll get some rankings. Andrew, who writes for, you know, 6-man rotation at Fantasy Aid 1, you know, it's our buddy Andrew. He's probably going to have some various Dynasty rankings as the preseason or offseason progresses. But yeah, I mean, it's all right here. Let's look at, I mean, has there been anything that like really stands out to you about this draft? I mean, if we look at results here, and here I'm going to have to switch windows again. Bear with me here. This is not exactly live switching in the way I'd prefer to do it. So I'm stopping sharing that. There I am again. Hello. Back to
I would probably say what stands out was it started day one is trading of draft picks. We have to be approaching 20 trading of picks. Like it's got to be close to that number. It's definitely over 10.
Right. Now I didn't break the seal, did I? There was if I'm not mistaken, there was another trade first.
There may have been. I did. I started with the turn and I traded up 10 spots to get Bryant. So, I mean, that I don't know if that was the first one, but it was right around there.
Well, I think the first trade was people switched their entire
switching slots. Yeah, that was Keith. That was Keith. God, was it Keith and was it Reese? Maybe I can't remember.
I can't remember whoever did that. I've never seen that, but that's something you might see in, you know, Dynasty draft, something like that, where people just, you know. We did a lottery for picks. I mean, go back and check out James's lottery video if you haven't seen that. It was the nudie cards.
Oh, yeah.
Where it determined, you know, where we're going to pick and such. So people just switched their own, you know, that was the first trade. And then I traded up to get 2 top 5 picks. That was the Nolan Arenado and Cody Bellinger scenario. And that was a trade with Fantasy Aid. We at the time we were like, why in the world would you get rid of your top 5 pick?
Yeah, but he had a plan.
Well, he had a plan, and I had a plan. We can talk about the plans later. We'll look at compare the teams. But I gave up a 2nd and a 3rd pick, and I don't know. But it set me back. It set me back. I mean, if you've made any of those trades in this league, you know what it's like. And let me remind you, this is 16 teams, so it's a little longer in between. Not forever. I mean, it's not terrible, but like, you know, you just know most of what you really want isn't going to be there when it's your turn again. Right. And 2 whole rounds of waiting is pretty brutal in a draft.
Oh yeah.
Of this depth, you know. And so, I mean, the talent drops off quick, but it was worth it, you know, right? Now, we also had Colin. Colin did the same thing. He got 2 first-round picks. Yep. Colin's an interesting case. We'll talk about him a little bit later. You know, I mean, that's right. You did move up to get Bryant. I forget. And I remember I was trying to, you know, I was trying to be that guy. I was trying to, like, hold you guys all hostage over Bryant, like, so what are you going to give me? You know, you're going to give me your pick plus, you know, like I was trying to hold all the Cubs fans hostage over Bryant.
And then it was
you guys both called my bluff, and I was just damn it.
I was torn, either Bryant or Altuve. I think if I made just a straight quote business decision, I'd go Altuve again. But you know, as I told you before, this is my last dynasty. This is number 4. I don't want any more. And the other three, I don't have Bryant. I went with the homer pick. Not like it's a bad pick, obviously. Bryant at number 6 in the Dynasty is fine, but
you're tapped for Dynasty for now.
Yeah, fandom aside, I probably went Altuve.
Okay, and now that's what Fantasy Keith followed with.
Yes, the resident expert we got.
Yes. Now, all right. So I guess if you have if you're going to do a Dynasty draft this spring, you may have some interest in the some of these rankings here. Who goes first? In this case, our first round consisted of Mike Trout, Nolan Arenado, Bryce Harper. There was some discussion of whether or not Harper should have been drafted second. I prefer to go with Nolan being Nolan. That was my pick.
Also, a lot of people like and rankings I saw elsewhere, Correa number 2 as well.
Yeah. Now, again, I think
it's
in this
splitting
range,
hairs.
Yeah, Correa probably would have been my
second
pick.
choice.
Not Bellinger, but I've got first and third locked up happily.
Yeah.
And so this, I wouldn't say this would be chalk, but this, expect that. I mean, expect something like that is for your top 5. And, maybe not Bellinger all the way up there, but somebody's going to reach. Somebody's going to pay for a Judge or a Bellinger pretty early. But so, okay, Correa, Bellinger, Bryant, which was, again, not bad. You moved up. You knew you had to do that to get your guy. Altuve, Jose, or not. That's Fantasy Keith, rather. He was stoked getting his Altuve that late.
Oh, yeah.
Judge. Okay, it was C-Money that took Judge. Colin did Macho and Turner back-to-back, which, you get your power, your speed.
Oh, yeah.
And then our boy, J-Money. Yeah, he's got the power team.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of boom-boom. Now, this was the one that shocked me just in terms of how far he fell.
The bets, yeah.
Well, both of these, actually. I mean, Goldschmidt, he's, I guess, starting to be on that wrong side of 30 that most people are afraid of.
Yeah, but that's great at number 13, yeah.
Yeah, Betts, I guess, considering Betts was kind of like a 1 and 2 last year with Trout. I mean, he was literally like Trout light or Trout 2.0 kind of thing. That just seems like quite a drop off from year to year. And then Goldie, I mean, again, I think it was the age bias. Freddie,
that's about where I thought he'd go at the end of the round.
Yeah, I could still see Freddie going a little higher than that. I mean, he is, what is he, 28?
Something like that, yeah.
I do like Freddie quite a bit. Blackman, I mean, obviously age factors there, but still, considering he was basically the number 1 asset overall last year. And then this one was this rap situation here where Jose did this, Jets Affinity, the Lindor Seager.
I was confused.
Yes. I mean, I don't know. I thought about maybe Seager at 5. I remember Reverend Nate Dogg was talking to me. He's like, I'd still take Seager over Bellinger. Yeah. And maybe so, like Lindor's they're all great shortstops. But yeah, that was just kind of an interesting. And then obviously we had the pitching start going in the second round. And
yeah, and I thought Sale was the right one to go first in this setup.
Yeah, Sale went first. Scherzer, Kluber, Bumgarner. This is all about right, Kershaw. So a lot of people got their pitching kind of locked up early, which I don't blame them. Andrew's first picks, the Fantasy Aid picks here. This was an interesting duo where he went Rizzo Hoskins. I think his plan is to play Rizzo at second base. I'm not positive, but Rizzo Hoskins is an interesting combo for first couple of picks. Yeah, and then of course he did. And of course he did. Sanchez Strasburg on the
he jumped up to get that.
Yeah. And Donaldson obviously with age fell all the way to the third round for you.
Yep, I was torn on that one.
Look how early Moncada goes. I mean, Bregman going in the second round, so that should tell you something. I mean, get your third base locked up early, I guess. And your pitching. I mean, it depends on Right? I mean, I think you kind of have to pay for pitching.
Yeah, I mean, you like to at least get one either established ace or close to it.
Yeah, and I don't have that. I'm a little bummed out about that. I'm sort of.
Well, the season doesn't end after the draft.
That's true. Oh, look at this. Yeah, Devers, third round here in with after Moncada. Yeah. That's quite a.
It's a jump. I mean, he's a great player, but yeah, that kind of shows you that people are coveting the young studs.
Yep, Acuna, definitely. So was Acuna the first prospect? Air quotes prospect.
Yeah, he was the first. I guess you'd call him an NA guy.
Okay, so that would be. He's owned in most other dynasty, but in a fresh dynasty, I don't know if I would take Acuna that early, but he's having a great fall league. He's
and Colin already admitted as much. He's like, yeah,
he didn't have to reach that early.
I wanted him.
Okay. Seeing if there's anything else that just blows me away that stands out. Okay, Bo Bichette was the next. The next prospect sort of taken.
I thought another age bias, Murphy, J Money, pick 75.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And especially in this format, great OBP, slugging, he fell.
Absolutely.
He fell big time. Kind of looking to see what else here. Just really another veteran that fell, Encarnacion at pick 88.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
There goes Eloy at 91.
Yeah, I was gonna say Eloy is kind of the next. I mean,
and Miggy fell as we expected.
Yeah, I mean, if Miggy is half of what he used to be, I mean, again, if I get 92nd pick, that's if I get a little bit out of that, I'm happy. I mean, there was some nice age bias value, in theory.
Yeah, there were, and there kind of still is to a lesser extent.
Yeah. Okay. See, we got Nelson Cruz and Cespedes back to back, and those are again age bias.
In round 9, this guy was. I've heard a lot of guys mention Odor in round 9. Everyone was wondering when is he gonna go.
Well, just because the on base percentage.
His on base is so terrible, and he dropped all the way to 129. I can't blame Eric for taking him at that fucking point.
No, and to be honest, I wish I had him. I still thought he was going to keep dropping. But, I mean, again, you can't – when you're talking about 30 home run power, you still get production and power and –
15 steals, second base.
You can live with it. So, yeah, Robles.
Yeah, that was Keith's one and only prospect.
And we got
a little toes in the water.
Yeah, and we got at the Glay Bar.
We got some gay bar. Yeah.
Yep. Albies.
Yep, I was sniped right before that.
Okay. And I mean, so basically kind of if you want to get some of these top flight prospects, you're going to have to sneak them in, pepper them in sort of in these rounds. There was no true run necessarily.
No, there really hasn't been. There's been a couple instances, but not a boom, boom, boom. Yeah.
Okay. So we got Nick Senzel here. So there's a lot just sort of peppered in here, McMahon, round 12, Tatis. There's no real run though.
No.
I'm trying to think where'd you get Kingery or Kingery?
Yeah.
Again, just peppered in. No true, you would think back to back, oh my God, all the prospects.
I would say this particular round probably had the most, round 12. I remember seeing a lot of green flags, which indicate minor leaguer.
Yeah.
There was a bunch of minors taken last night. And the other big trend is obviously with the save hold combo, I think there's only been a handful of relief pitchers taken.
Right. It's been Kimbrel, Jansen, Edwin.
I think Chad Green, Diaz, Osuna. There's less than 10 that have been taken.
And I mean, when it's combined saves holds, there's just no, I mean, if there's a major thing where it's 50 saves, you're not going to get a guy that's got 50 holds necessarily. So that's not bad. If he's got a super low ERA and a whip and 130 strikeouts, if you're getting basically a Kimbrel, right? That's almost like having a crappy starter, we've decided, except he picks up on your stats. So, like, you know, Ks per 9 are in order, but that's about it. Otherwise, you're like, I'll play a couple of holds, guys. You know?
And then the other obvious kind of wait for it is catching. There's been, I don't know, 4, maybe 5 taken.
Yeah, I think Real Muto was the last catcher taken.
Yeah, I think he was. Real Muto. Before that, it was Sal Perez, Sanchez, and Posey, and I think that's it.
Yeah. So
you actually, go ahead and look at the by position if you want to look at that.
Okay, by position here. Yeah, all right.
You know. So yeah, catcher, you got 5 taken at the top there.
Okay.
All right, well, we've got a pick right now. J Money has just selected Aaron Hicks.
Okay, and J Money, of course. We'll have to go back to the draft. I'll switch back over that.
God, what pick? Okay, and it looks like Andy's going Vertigo.
Okay. Oh, Alex Verdugo.
Verdugo, whatever you're supposed to say his fucking name.
Vertigo.
Vertigo. So yeah, we got some action here, middle of the pod. It's always fun.
Oh yeah, hot ass action. Okay, so this is interesting. Okay, so these are basically all the prospects we've had taken so far: Kingery, Kindry, Torres, Brendan Rodgers, Acuna, Robles, Bo Bichette, Eloy Jimenez. I took a lot of pitching prospects. Oopsie. And then Tatas.
Yeah, I mean, some people have put their prospects on the bench. There might be a few that haven't. Yeah, just kind of organizing it, you know.
All right, so we mentioned Colin's team being sort of bizarre. Yes. Colin has no pitching.
0 pitchers.
None pitching. There is no pitching. Now, I'm pretty light on pitching. I'm not the only team that's light on pitching, but this is literally no pitching.
Now he's got some nice bats, but with the league this depth size and what's left out there, I mean, there's just dog shit. I mean, maybe he's going relief pitching strat and just getting enough starters to get the minimum innings pitch, but
that's about all I could think.
It's got to be tough in a 16-team league. It's not the biggest league ever, but it's big enough when you're looking for streams, you're going to be looking at ass.
Well, I don't. You know, all right, so here's the thing. This reminds, like, and no offense, Colin, I don't know what we're only halfway through the draft. He might pull something out of thin air and we're not even expecting it. Again, if he goes relief pitching strategy, possibly. You know, nothing wrong with that. He's got plenty of time left to pick until relievers are flying off the shelf. I'm just looking at this though, like, if you're 1 and 2 are Macho and Turner.
Yeah.
Like, if you're doing the heavy batting strategy, your 1 and 2 aren't Macho and Turner. It's definitely not fucking Turner. Like, you're doing what J Money did. Like, you're locking down some power. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you're getting your JD Martinez, your Giancarlo Stanton. Like, I don't know what his first pick was. Yeah, okay, so who was still on the clock? Or who was still out there? Stanton, Goldschmidt, Freeman. I mean, Stanton and Freeman alone right there. I mean, I don't know. Starting a team with Stanton, Freeman, Stanton, Goldschmidt. That's how you do the RP strategy, the relief pitching strategy.
Okay, so Andy, sorry to interrupt. Andy did indeed just draft Verdugo with the 204th pick. He actually he had typed Verdugo in the draft lobby, and he didn't mean to. He was multitasking at work, and he probably thought he was messaging something else.
Oh, so he didn't mean to? No.
Yes. So he goes, oops. He goes, I think I just showed my hand.
Now, do we need to back up, or is he keeping the...
No, he's fine. He just drafted him.
Okay, so he's keeping...
Vertigo.
Yeah, he's keeping his Vertigo. Ooh.
Yeah, he's obviously going young here. I think that might be his 3rd or 4th prospect.
Okay. Well, everybody's going to get their little grip of prospects. You got to get a few. But yeah, Colin here again, you're not relying on Edwin Encarnacion for the power. You got a Freeman or a Goldschmidt or a Rizzo. You know, I mean, I just and Stanton, you know, and then remember this is the guy that was all proud about getting eaten like it was some sort of like he heisted a fucking bank or something. Like, we're all like, is he even playing? Like, what about Taylor and
Robles?
You know, yeah, like, but again, he's like, you guys, hee-haw, you know, it's like fucking Yosemite Sam or like he literally, like, it's like, like he heisted a bank. And then the same thing with, oh God.
Slippy, Slappy, Sammy Swanson?
Yeah. Well,
Swanson?
yeah, Dansby Swanson. Like, he needs a monocle, you know what I mean? Like, Terwilliger Swanson. You know what I mean? Like, do you have any Grey Poupon? You know what I mean? Like, so he's got Swanson. And, you know, again, it was like, at that point, it was like all right, so the first one was a bank heist. The Swanson thing was like he was the most, like, just a smooth operator. You know what I mean? Like, he's like 007 in the draft. And then the most recent was Ahmed Rosario. And, like, that's one, like, where all of a sudden, like, I'm going to drop some knowledge on you fools. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Like, and everybody, every time we're all like,
okay.
Okay. Like, oh. Okay, like to the detriment of his own team, we're like, all right, if that's what you're gonna do. Even Marte too is like he had like again like robbed the bank. We're all like, yeah, we saw him too.
He's out there.
God. Yeah. So hopefully he ends up with some kind, because I don't even know what to think of this. Like. And I've never seen somebody like, I mean, this is going to be like league breaking. This is going to be a huge problem if he doesn't start doing something here. Because, I mean, again, like don't slapstick the draft. Don't fuck up the league for the rest of us. Because at some point, if this clown can't figure out what he's doing, and I don't, if I'm calling him a clown or a bozo or, you know, some sort of jabroni or something. If I'm calling them these names out of turn, please let me know. And I'm sorry calling in advance, but sorry, not sorry right now. Because, well, you know, we have to consider possibly replacing this manager. And how the hell are we going to get some replacement manager with a bunch of old dog shit and no pitching staff? like they're literally people, even JD would turn his nose up at that team, a chance to rebuild that team. And JD will take on any lost fucking. So shout out to JD. We got your team here in this league when you're ready to, you know, break open your side account. I mean, yeah, well, there is a glaring, you'll notice there's no Ryan. There's no JD Balla, unfortunately. JD has too many teams. He didn't want to open up a side account. You know, if it was Fantrax or ESPN, no problem. But, you know, Yahoo, you only get 8 teams per account. So he didn't want to join us, but that's okay. And Ryan's okay. Yeah, and that's okay. Ryan's a flake. He retired too many times, and you know that's okay too. I mean, the thing that's sad is he would enjoy this draft probably at least as much as we are.
Yeah.
And that's a lot.
That's the biggest takeaway from this whole thing is this has been a blast.
Yeah, I don't think we can stress it enough. I mean, we've kind of waxed and droned on about players and teams, but really, I mean, the chat, having the Twitter group, you know, all of this going on, like we're all communicating. It's going like
talking trades, you know, every day. I mean, people, you know.
Yeah. I mean, this is going like.
People aren't doing their jobs because of this fucking draft.
Yeah, relationships are probably going to end over it. Like, I mean, it's that good of a draft. And this is, you know, I mean, this is what people want. This is the kind of draft. I mean, I've done several slow drafts. It's a little different. Usually, it's actually a little bit slower than this. We all started out saying like, oh, it's a slow draft. We got this luxurious 12-hour clock. You know, take as much time as you need. And like, we were working trades and stuff, but as we've gotten later in the draft, we haven't
lately, yeah.
Well, but lately it's like you don't even need to say beep beep. Like everybody's just like, oh, all right, let's go. Like we've turned a slow draft into a like, I don't know, like half fast draft. It's a half-fast draft.
Well, right now we're at 25 minutes average time per pick,
which that's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean that's like the fast slow draft.
I'd say the first week we were at around an hour or two.
Okay. Yeah,
so, people have been on it lately for sure.
Well, and I think part of that's because there's less high impact trading going on. I mean, there's still trades going down, but it's less high impact at this point because it's like, well, do you want to? We're talking prospects or like fringe players. Like, who was it? Somebody like. Was it Wood moved up for Scooter? I mean, you're getting your second baseman, but like it's really it's not that extravagant. It's not like there's that much on the line. Whereas before you're negotiating, like, okay,
there's a big fish.
25th pick overall for 45th, and then you know what I mean, and like so there was just more at stake.
Yeah.
Like. Sure. I gotta say, if you are doing a dynasty draft this spring, and you know everybody that's in it, most of everybody that's in it anyways, do a slow draft, and you can do this on Yahoo. We just because we have to transfer the players, we wanted to get it going early. But when Yahoo opens up, you don't have to do yours early and transfer players. That's slightly unnecessarily complicated, but we couldn't.
Yeah.
Right. We're just like, we got to go. We got to draft, Go. And this will give us plenty of time for preseason trading. I mean, that'll be pretty nice. Yeah, I mean, I like that. And it's a good way to go. I mean, again, just if you have any questions about Dynasty, hit up Fantasy Keith. He's in the league.
Our Fantasy Aid or Reese from 6-Man Rotation. They're all
here.
Yep. They're all. I mean, some of those guys might technically get paid, but let's be real. They're fucking experts. They just don't happen to get paid.
They write. They're writing. They
experts. Research. They write. They do this every week, sometimes every fucking day. And that's the other big takeaway is this draft's not for the faint of heart. I mean, you have maybe a couple people who are like, I don't know what they're doing, but for the most part, you're not going to get a name past someone in this draft. It's going to be very difficult.
No, and that's why we were laughing at, Jabroni Clownster Colin. Because, again, it's like, don't roll into a draft assuming like, you know more than anybody else in the room. Okay.
Yeah. You got to be humble in this draft, I think.
Well, and the draft's just step one of winning a league. So, and like I said, we've said it a million times. There's no such thing as winning a draft.
Yeah,
I mean,
no, for sure.
Doing well.
Are there some teams that maybe look better than others at the moment? Yeah, but
well, and it's subjective.
Yep, it's really hard to grade in the dynasty. Some teams might be like, "Oh, I like them a lot because they're winning now," but the other teams, I might like them in a couple years.
Yeah, by the end of the draft as things level out. I mean, some late picks. I mean, I got to go dumpster diving at some point. And I feel confident in the bottom of a dumpster, like sniffing around through the like rotten sandwiches and the like, curdled milk and stuff, the sour milk smell and like, oh, dead cat, but, hobos in there and, you got to fight them off for the good stuff that's still on the bottom of the barrel. Oh, yeah. I can do that. I'm confident with my skills in that arena. Yeah. But if you want to improve your skills in that arena, right, our website's going to have a few articles about this league, and I'm sure we'll be talking Dynasty. We do pretty much Dynasty for every sport. Well, not football, but FantasySportsAddicts.com is the website, and that's a good place to go if you want to meet people and get into good leagues, or again start your own league, that kind of thing. Always find, addicts are always out there with their thumb or showing some thigh, like, hey, you know what I mean? Hitchhiking away to another league. So it's all right. It's all right. Yeah. So get out there and get yourself some Dynasty. If you have any Dynasty questions, again, FantasySportsAddicts.com. We're always there. Cubby, is there anything you want to end with or mention?
No, I guess the last thing I would say, and I've said it in the group chat before, and it's a little cheesy, but man, thanks everyone for joining this league. It's exceeded my expectations. It's been fun as hell. As time has gone by, the shit talking's gone up, and that's fine too. So, we got a whole another half of this thing, so it's gonna get fucking wild.
Coming up, part 2. We'll and again, we've had tears, we've had blood, we've had joy, we've had fun, seasons in the sun. I don't know, all that shit. We've made Titanic jokes, we've made dick jokes, we've made all kinds of there's been all kinds of stuff. It's exactly what it needs to be at exactly the time we need it. Basketball season's boring as hell. Except, it's really like football season's kind of like hope it's almost spring, I hope it's almost. We got the winter meetings coming up. It's going to be good. I'm excited about the league. Thank you for hosting it. Thank you for having me.
No problem.
I am loving the draft so far, and I will love this league playing it going forward. 4th Dynasty League, and it's exactly the right setup. Perfect. Everybody in the league except for that, clown, jabroni, bozo with no pitching. I don't know. I've already mixed it up with a few people, but today Colin has earned my rage. Oh, the red light's broken. Otherwise, I'd turn it on and be like, Colin, I got something to say to you. But we'll save that for another time. I guess I'll just close with the Fantasy Sports Serenity Prayer. And again, we'll see you guys next time. And hopefully, again, leave comments down below if you want to talk about Dynasty or you want to get into a Dynasty draft, all that. Anyways, Fantasy Gods. Please grant me the serenity to set my ideal lineup, courage to ad drop aggressively. Wisdom as always to make good trades. All right. Website's FantasySportsAddicts.com. Hit us up on Twitter at letter F, letter S, or double, letter A, FSAA. James, you are at Cubby, Cubby, Nole, Nole, Cubby Nole.
Hit me up anytime for talking fantasy. It's all good.
Okay, Fantasy_Keith and at FantasyAid1. Okay, you guys, good drafting. Let's finish this second half. And I'm going to drive my teams up your ass. Woo!
All right.
Woo! All right.
All right.